How's our have we got our yacht set up for Super Bowl next year?
Yacht Week has been a conversation that has been on hold, but we'll get right back into it.
I did find a website.
We did. We found an actual yacht in Tampa that rents out.
We're actually looking into Train Week, AJ.
Yeah.
Oh,
How you
AJ.
feel about trains?
Dude.
Wait, for the Super Bowl?
No.
Think
Lifestyle. As a lifestyle.
You're gonna live on a train?
Well,
Luxury.
You see, I don't know how much time we have, but
Where does this train take us?
okay.
Everywhere.
Anywhere.
So,
Kind of.
Everywhere.
Pick a place.
Coast to coast, baby.
goes very slow. So Blackout Tuesday was a moment of inflection for everybody, kind of learn a little bit more. Maybe if you're ignorant to something, how do you learn about it a little bit more? How can we help potentially? And the idea we landed on was, so there's only 80 train owners in the history of this country. Yep. 80. So what we thought we could do is become the 81st train owners. And through this process, we learned that there's a guy named Patrick Henry who owns a lot of trains. The Amtrak really has the entire business in a monopoly. But what we thought we could do, buy a couple of our own train cars. Okay, everybody gets their own train car. Mm-hmm. It's your room. We'll buy a train car that is a studio, and we'll go town to town, and we'll introduce these tiny towns that have never met maybe somebody from somewhere else. We'll do interviews, we'll do town halls, and we'll live in this train for a couple months while we bounce around on the back of Amtrak trains, which is the only way you can travel at this point, because you can't just go your own destination, because Amtrak owns the tracks and the trains that you'll have to get pulled upon. And this was a real idea that happened. We had a sponsor already happen.
yeah.
We already talked to Patrick Henry on numerous occasions. We were going to buy trains. We are going to set up the Connecting America tour via the Silver Bullet train, brought to you by Coors Light. This was what we did on Blackout Tuesday, and we thought that was how we could connect America again to learn about each other and go on the other side. Turns out the logistics of owning a train, quite a kick in the dick if you really look into it.
Yeah, Patrick Henry has not gotten back to me, so he may have kicked the can last week, but I think there is a chance that he gives me his trains.
Very old community in the train community. If Patrick Henry did die, we would then be the 80th train owner alive.
Bingo.
Which is something to think about. But yeah, we're talking, this conversation started early in the day. Other conversation.
Okay, I hate to cut you off, but doesn't seem very efficient. Multiple months on a train. You're not going to make it, first off. We know that.
Trains are big, bro. They have this dome. Hey,
You haven't seen the luxury cars.
They have coach cars. They have business cars. They have dome cars.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get in the
You're
dome
gonna, first
car.
off, in your train, in your personal room, you're going to need a box fan and a window to ventilate. We know that. I don't think vitamins
dome.
are allowed.
No.
Yeah, open the dome.
The dome. There's a dome top.
Okay. Well, let me just throw this one out there then.
Slop.
Since it seems like it's difficult and you haven't really gotten through to the guy who's dead who owns all the trains. How about you rent a couple tour buses and you drive around and you can actually get to places?
Can't walk on tour buses. When tour buses are moving, it actually stinks, because when they're shut, you have no room. Your legs are literally on top of each other. Look at the train car, how much space it has while you're traveling across these tiny little towns in America.
Gorgeous.
Where you have to stop at 15 of them to get to one town that's probably 2 hours away. You have a chance to move and live. That's what I would like to do. I'd like to move and live. The buses, they just don't have enough room to do anything. You're stuck in the back, so you might as well just put yourself in a jail cell and move it down the road.
Traffic. Don't have to deal with traffic on the train
No
tracks.
traffic on the train track.
No.
You also have only certain areas you can get to that have train tracks.
Good news. That's the only places we need to go.
Yep, big cities.
Only places we need to go.
Have you studied anything on where these train tracks lead and where you?
Oh yeah, from
100%.
Indianapolis to Orlando, for instance.
That's a short ride. Yeah.
47.
Well,
That would take
actually,
37 hours.
37-hour trip. But think about what we could do in that 37 hours.
That's 37 hours straight, though, right?
Yeah.
They're not
Yes.
counting.
No, well,
Yeah.
First, you take a stop in
head over to
first you take a
Maryland.
stop in Shelbyville, Indiana. Then you take a stop in Dublin, Ohio. Then you take a stop in Maryland. Then you take a stop in Virginia. Then North Carolina. Then South Carolina. Then Georgia. Then top Florida. Then you really got to work. That's the issue with the trains.
Top Florida.
Not very efficient
But-
in how you get to
Wait, what's
places.
top
get
Florida?
Huh?
What is top Florida?
Northern.
Jacksonville.
Northern
You get
Florida.
it. The top
Like
area.
the northern part of Florida.
The top area of Florida.
Panhandle.
You get it, and then to work all the way down, you understand. Orlando, middle of the pack there, but you still have to work your way down there. And then if we want to get to Orlando to let's say maybe New Orleans or something. Oh, you're going up to Alabama. You're going through Tennessee. You're coming back down. Maybe you're in the river there for the Mississippi River for a couple minutes. It is not as efficient as one would think on the train. That's an A to B operation. Literally, they go straight a fuck ahead. But to get to the places you need to get to, boy, you got to go straight in one direction a lot of different times. Yeah. So it's not efficient. That's what we learned.
Well, it's good. You guys are always spitballing ideas.
Yeah.
You got to go through 1,000 bad ones to find the good one, right?
Well, that was a great one too, though.
That's a great idea. We still, not a single person in this office thinks it was a bad idea. If it wasn't for the trains, the way they are operated, like if we could get our own choo-choo and just hire somebody to be our engineer and everything like that, and we didn't have to attach it to the back of other trains that are already moving. If we could do that and also create our own tracks that just go straight to where we need to go, we'd be able to do this thing no problem. Relatively cheap, by the way, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Amtrak.
Owning trains, relatively cheap, but boy, Amtrak, they got you in
They got a monopoly going.
nothing you can do.
They're trying to shut down the private train travel.
It's unbelievable.
Trains are coming back. I hear they're making a big comeback.
We heard that, too. So we were going to be the leading... We're going to corner the market on private train travel.
Yeah, so you get it, AJ.
You never know. It might happen.
I don't like the condescending attitude. Right?
At all.
Yeah.
This is hours of
But
brainstorming.
first off, my condescending attitude is not condescending. I just did it. I just, you got to spitball ideas. I'm just trying to pick it apart a little bit to make it as good as it possibly can be.
we already picked
Get a
it
boat.
apart
Get a
enough.
yacht. Get a big yacht and go start up in like New England and just trickle all the way down to the southern tip of Florida, or bottom Florida as you would call it, and then maybe just continue around, maybe go out in the Mediterranean somehow and just go around, and that's how you could spread the good word.
But we're talking about, the pieces of America who maybe have never met somebody who's not from their part of town, middle of America.
Oh, so do the rivers. Do the rivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's so many dead bodies in those rivers.
Start
It's
in
not
Pittsburgh.
trainers.
There's 3 rivers. Take your choice.
What are you worried? The dead body's going to float up and hurt your prop, hit the prop, and you're going to be out of
Yeah,
luck?
dude. I got a
That
boat
would
in
be
Pittsburgh.
Anacondas.
I got a boat in Pittsburgh one time that had a casino in it, and they told us, by no accounts, do not jump in the water. A body was dragged out of here the other day.
There were rats the
Yeah,
size of
those-
your head floating around the dock.
Probably the drunks have been a long time.
I'd rather run into a dead body in a river
Today was-
than an alligator.
That's very true. Well, then you wanted us to go down in Florida anyways. You were looking for us to die.
No, on the yacht. You don't have to jump off. If I'm
Yacht
down in
Week.
Florida, if there's a fear of sharks right there, I'm not jumping off the yacht.
Listen, Yacht Week is happening at the Super Bowl. Train months seems like it's probably a long shot at this point.
Months, plural.
Months, yeah, because only can make it 3 stops if you don't spend at least a quarter of the year in there.
Look good, feel good. Feel good, play good.
Play good, pay good, live good, die good.